Because I hate it. Sometimes you've got to fill yourself with hate. You know the way that you drink coffee? You can't
I
enjoy
like
coffee. Nah, you don't. You didn't. You got some. The thing is, I drink so much, and it's just like one of those things that's like, oh, I can drink less of this, but then everyone remembers that everyone loves to hate, so you just end up drinking more of what you hate.
Yeah. And to be fair,
That's why people drink cider.
I used to hate sparkling water, and then I found when I quit smoking, I was drinking a lot more. It was like, I don't know why, just to kind of replace, or I just kind of slipped into it. I've been like, I'm having a couple of pints a day now, and that's not really like me.
Right.
And so I started substituting it for sparkling water, and I actually quite liked it after that.
No. It's not real. Someone tried to sell me it's like naturally occurring. It's lies. Nothing bubbles in nature. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there's bubble gum. That's natural. That grows. But like, in terms of like sparkling rivers, no.
Yeah,
babbling, maybe. You can get a babbling brook or whatever the fuck that is.
I'll have a bottle of babbling water, please.
Yeah. I'll have
babble.
Yeah, just a babble with a fish in it. And then fuck it, can do it like that. But I just can't, I can down a 2-litre bottle of water very, very easily.
It's very bubbly.
Fizzy, I shouldn't. Yeah, but I can down other bubbly stuff. It's just, this isn't very nice. So it's like, I don't want to.
Yeah, I used to think it tasted like fizzy aspirin, but actually, I don't know. I quite like it now.
Do you love the taste of aspirin?
No, I hate it.
Hate it. Well, I never knew what aspirin tasted like.
Did you never have the soluble aspirins when you were a kid?
No, we were poor. Couldn't afford bubbles to medicine.
They're not rich man's food.
The King's Buffet. Fizzy painkillers. Bubblegum flavoured morphine. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, never really did it. I think. But I think I've told this before. But I'm a special kind of idiot. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's like if when learning something new, I throw all information out the boat and then look at it from scratch.
Yeah.
So when I was told as a child to swallow pills, I was told to put the pill on my tongue and then just drink a glass of water. I was like, well, okay. But the pill's still on my tongue. And then it took years until someone said, you have to swallow the pill. And I was like, oh, I can do that. But just no one told me.
I mean, it's one thing for like painkillers, and you'd be like, well, I guess I just have bad headaches and they just never go away. But like, if you're meant to be on like a course of like antibiotics or something, and you just didn't take any of them.
Yeah, I remember I was in hospital for asthma or something like that, and they were trying to give me a pill, and I was like in my teens, and they're like, can you take pills? I was like, I just don't know how. So I had to come in with like a syringe of like baby food painkillers or something like in the middle of the night. I was like, if only the science was there. If only there was instructions on how to swallow a pill. But there's loads of stuff. And my brain just goes like, well, let's look at it from the basics. Okay. Well, these are the instructions, and it doesn't work. Well, no one knows how to take pills.
Yeah,
It was never a discomfort thing. That's the thing. It was never like, oh, I don't like swallowing pills. I just didn't know how. So it's just, and then I wrapped it in bread, and someone said, wrap it in bread and then eat it. I was like, okay.
What?
Like I can do this.
Crunching it up.
No, you just swallow the loaf of bread whole or something like that. It's easy.
You know how you can't swallow? Swallow something bigger.
Swallow a loaf. No, but yeah, it's just one of those things.
Is it water soluble? Water soluble loaf.
It starts fizzing, babbling. Oh, you're babbling bread. Isn't that soda bread? I don't know. Something like that. But yeah, never figured it out. Well, to this day. No, I eventually just realised. But there's loads of stupid things I've done like that where it's like something very simple, but I'm just following the instructions to the letter, and the instructions are not adapted for a brain dead person. So it's the same. Well, if you follow the instructions, everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So babbling, sparkling water. Fucking horrible. How are you, Steve? Are you alright?
I'm fine. I'd love to tell you, but I haven't done out.
What episode is it?
258.
Is it? Might be.
Yeah.
Don't know. Lost track. I've got so engrossed in the podcast I've done. But yeah, it's probably 258. We'll go with that this
well,
week.
the last
I think
time you
that's what I've
messaged
written
me, you were like, so it's looking to be unseasonably hot. And then suddenly it wasn't.
Fantastically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
no,
got to the
I'm
point-
glad. I didn't want it to be really hot.
Yeah, look, we're recording it quite late this week because, last Thursday we had, or whatever it was, we had scheduling conflicts, and it was just so hot, and it was looking to get even hotter. And it's just like, I remember last time we had the fans on, and like the software we used to talk over the internet filtered out the fan, but the microphones didn't. So do you want to have another episode of Nick on a plane? So it's like, I might do a paddling pool. We've always talked about a paddling pool episode, something like that. But it's cooled down. I've got a fork now. It's cooled down now, thankfully. Fucking hell. I even got a thermometer now.
Why?
Because I'm convinced it gets so hot in my house, it's ridiculous. Right now it's 22 degrees. I have no idea what that means. But it gets so warm in the house that it's ridiculous. So I need like a measurement thing to tell me when it's extra hot.
I was going to say 22 degrees, considering it's just kind of dull and rainy outside, is pretty warm.
I think it's very warm. Well, it's 21.9 now. You've just cooled it down. I don't know what you did.
Yeah.
But yeah, no heating, no nothing. It just cooks as a house. It's just because it's... I think all houses are always under the sun. But like my house is more so, I think. I think that's basically what someone told me.
My house is closer to the sun. That's why it was such a bargain.
Yeah, but I don't know, like basically the side of the house that I do most of my stuff on, sleeping, working, all that kind of stuff, is always in sunlight. Like when the sun's up, it's always beaming down, so it just cooks this side of the house. So I think that just does shit. But yeah, so it's been warm, but yeah, cooled down nicely now. So hopefully winter can come.
Yeah.
And start to chill the fuck out. And then we'll have a ice rink episode instead. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't trust ice rinks. Half the time they're stadiums, aren't they? Some of them.
I've been to concerts at ice rinks.
Badminton court
Ice
/
Arena. I've
ice
seen a
rink.
few bands there.
Yeah, I can't remember. There was an ice rink somewhere.
I always find them
I went
weird.
to once.
Like now, I think, like given the opportunity, I prefer not to go to like big like arena shows. They just feel really cold and like lifeless.
Look at all these dead people.
But like I don't know. There's just no. I don't feel in any way attached to the person I'm seeing. Whereas if you see them in like a little club or something,
grab onto them or something.
Yeah, just underground, like you and maybe up to 1,000 people. Like if you go to like Rock City or something, like it's still decent to watch people there.
Yeah.
But like big arenas, it's just a bit cold and boring now. I don't know.
You're boring. Tens of thousands of people.
Yeah.
Whatever stadiums are. Can't remember. No, it works. Like, I mean, I felt that way about Eddie Izzard. I saw Eddie Izzard at the O2. And it was like, this feels, like the whole environment feels really different.
Yeah.
It feels really weird.
I think that's the thing. I think we saw the same
tours.
tour and I really liked it and you were a bit, and I think that is a big difference because I saw him at a theatre. And you saw him at a theatre on the same tour as well, I think, didn't you?
I saw him at the O2.
But did you see him twice though?
No.
No. Okay. Must be thinking.
But
of
like,
someone
it
else.
could just be like a on the day thing. Like we saw Bill Burr and we saw the early show.
That was decent.
And it was like
that was still one of the best days of my life.
Well, it was like it was good, but there was like bits that were it was entertaining, and then we were like, oh fuck it, let's see it. Someone offered us tickets for the second show.
Yeah.
And we were like, sure, we'll see him again.
Yeah.
And the second show, he was like totally different energy, so it could just be like, performance.
To be fair, I think the second show we didn't have tickets. We just gave the security guard money, and he just sent us upstairs.
Yeah. Well, it's a ticket, isn't it? Probably.
Money was exchanged.
Yeah, Burr was experienced.
Yeah, he was great. It was just the second one we were sitting on like pews.
Or it was like stood at the back
weird
or
boxes?
something. Of like skybox.
Yeah.
Somewhere, I don't know.
It was decent.
But yeah, it was just like what they open up when they oversell. And the security guard was like, I'll oversell it.
Yeah.
Give me a couple of quid, I'll send you up there.
Yeah, I own the building.
Yeah, that's why I got this high-vis vest.
Yeah.
Want everyone to know. It's all good.
I can go anywhere.
I could do anything. Give me a camera. You didn't want me to have a camera. I remember that. that was about it. But yeah, it could have been a performance thing. But yeah, I think the atmosphere probably does make a difference. But it depends where you stand. I mean, I've only ever seen a gig that I've like been quite close to the front anyway. So I guess I kind of forget about everyone behind. Oh no, I saw Muse when I was like 17, and it was seated at the very back of some stadium.
Okay.
And it was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
And like we were trying to dance on the 3 inches of land that we had in front of the seats. It's like, this is very strange. But yeah, apart from that. But yeah, so you know, I've not been up to much. It's been
just
work away.
Yeah, boring. Just head down and working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get your like and subscribe graphics from the Pulling Teeth podcast Incorporated?
I did. Yeah. Yeah.
I find it really weird.
I should chip in on that with you.
I just find it funny that like the guy who knows nothing is the source of your media libraries. Briefly, I've got some things. Have a look. It's great.
Yeah.
Like this, like.
No, it's one of those things. It's like I'll often like just make something like that quickly, but then once I saw that fucking service that you'd signed up for, it'd just been like, well, look, there's thousands of them on here, and like they're all the fucking same. So this saves so much time. Yeah,
I want it to move left to right. Let's work out which pixels to start at, which pixels to... Just fucking get somebody else to do it.
Yeah, yeah. And someone else do it better, because I'm not a motion graphics artist.
What are you again? This is something I always forget. Not as an insult.
Oh, right.
But like a videographer, a video marketing producer.
It's hard to say.
Laptop user?
That's most accurate. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think that was off record, but
camera.
Yeah. You use a laptop now.
Camera person.
Camera person.
Yeah. No, I'm I guess officially a kind of a videographer. But I actually put filmmaker on my fucking business card recently. So I was like, fuck it. It's closer to what I want to do. Like, it's closer to the kind of work that I want to do, because I don't want to just be like videoing people's christenings and shit. Like, anyone can do that. Like,
I don't want to be tethered to your shit christening.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I don't know your baby.
I want to make reservoir dogs.
Your baby isn't interested in my autistic eye. Like,
autistic eye, yeah. You start screenplays and I don't know. I guess like the biggest dream is to be that kid from American Beauty who just films like bags blowing in the wind.
Oh, genius.
Yeah.
He's just got thousands of tapes, and no one was ever like, this kid is fucking nuts.
He keeps on filming the neighbours. It's a bit weird. Don't worry, he's got some really abusive family.
That's the thing I don't understand, is that the girls in these films are always enamoured by this weird kid. And if you take the weird kid out of context and put them in the real world, they are fucking weird people. That just and everyone would hate them.
Well, it's really weird. Like one fun,
like the Crow.
Fun fact. Yeah, but it's you kind of forget that all film is propaganda at the end of the day, don't you? Like I watched there's one fun. I don't know if it's a fun fact, but you know, like flamethrowers in World War II were never really used that much.
Oh, right.
Because like there was a fact about some tank, I think it was like a Churchill tank or something, that was fitted with a flamethrower, was 100% successful in all of its battles, because it just drove up close to people, doused them in gasoline, and then the people gave up. And they were like, sure. Like, do we need to set them on fire? No, they just give up. All right. Well, they're covered in petrol or whatever. Yeah, sure. Bring it out. But if you watch like World War II films, it's like flames and shit. It's like people don't want to fight. Like there was a thing about medieval battles where it's like, you know, there were very, very short, very, very few.
Yeah.
As in like two armies came up and one was like, that one's bigger than ours. All right, you win. That was it. Because if you had for all these fucking battles, everyone would be dead.
Yeah.
Like, just eventually you'd run out of people. People were just like, nah.
But it's also so even like the ones that did go on weren't like, oh, like we've been in Afghanistan for 20 years or whatever. It's like, no, a couple of days. A couple of days and everyone was dead.
Yeah, it was just, everyone got hungry and went home.
Yeah.
It's fine. But if you watch all the films, it's all action and crazy stuff. And obviously, that was always kind of known. But like, the more you look at stuff, the more you realise even the smallest things are pretty propagandized. I mean, but then people are fucked up. So I imagine that American Beauty would still happen in the real world.
It's true. I like that film, but it's one of those things. I'd like to watch it again with people, but everyone's always like, "Oh, you can't watch it because Kevin Spacey or whatever." And it's just But it was a good film. Like, do you draw that line?
There's people who are idiots.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, it's like we're saying, if somebody, I don't know, think of a famous criminal, like Harvey Weinstein, right?
Yeah.
Harvey Weinstein didn't make all of the films from the Weinstein Company.
Yeah.
I mean, let's say Wall-E was, a Weinstein film. I have no idea if it was.
Like Kevin Smith films that I couldn't watch anymore.
Yeah, it's just
and loads of Tarantino's movies you couldn't watch.
Yeah, it was the same as like people boycotting films because well, it's exactly the same thing. What I'm talking about, where boycotting a film because an actor's in it. It's like, the actor brings like 2% of the whole production. Like, don't get me wrong, it's very integral in the performance side of stuff. But like, you're going to punish the grip worker or the film company or the director because you don't like this actor. It's like, what are you doing?
Well, I don't understand. I don't understand. I remember recently, and I've never watched any of his stuff. I know he's like an old school comic, but there were people protesting Roy Chubby Brown, and in Sheffield, and they had his show pulled. But it's like, I mean, well, for one, all the people that have bought tickets are now going to be fucked off. They're still going to be fans of Roy Chubby Brown. The people that wanted it pulled were never going to buy tickets in the first place, are never going to go. And the people that have, and no one's been turned off seeing him. You either like him or you don't. So like, I don't understand the point. They're just looking to spoil everyone else's fun.
Well, like I remember because Roy Chubby Brown's always been Roy Chubby Brown. I don't remember a lot of his stuff, but I know it's kind of the same. Richard Manning,
Bernard
Jim
Manning
Davidson, stuff. Bernard Manning, sorry, Richard Manning. But like that kind of,
So I've never seen him perform in my life, but I still don't agree with fucking banning anybody.
Well, it's the thing. What my point is, like, his stuff is just, it's more aggressive, harsh language, making fun of minorities, right? I think that's probably a big thing.
Okay.
But it's like, if his act was about something that was more, anti-society, as in, like, I don't know, he was looking to bring back lynching, and he wanted to do a tour where he talked about let's all bring back lynching. You can understand I can understand deplatforming him then, because that's so extreme that maybe they don't want it. But like, this is and I agree with you here. It's like it's just bad language, old generations that's not effective anymore.
Yeah.
It's just old people going to see a show.
Yeah.
And it's fair enough. If you want to go see the show, go see the show. It's not so crazy or society breaking as like going on a lynching tour. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like people are overly outraged. It's like, just fucking chill out.
Well, it's just,
I don't want this. That's it. It's fine.
I never understood it. I never understood why people feel so entitled to police what everyone else does, and to act like they're doing it to fucking, I don't know, save the morals of the nation or whatever. Just a bunch
I can
of cunts.
understand. I can understand in the extreme, like, doing some kind of big, really
But
crazy tour.
the trouble is
isn't
that
crazy.
like, I do kind of understand the extreme in the whole kind of like, oh, we've got to ban him because he's literally Hitler. And let's say the guy is literally Hitler. It's like, okay, fair enough, but you also told us that all of these hundreds of people were literally Hitler. So why the fuck should I listen to you?
As in Boy Who Cried Wolf.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
It's not up to you to make that judgment anymore.
Gareth.
Yeah.
It's all Gareth. No, yeah, I agree. The Twitter mob is always a weird thing, but it's just always try and figure out a way to understand the idea. And it's like, okay, if there was somebody promoting a tour about why we should bring back lynching, society is so against that already that there's no point. It's like, but if someone's going around saying, some not even black, blue cuff humor that's insulting to many. It's like, well,
let
do
them,
what you want.
Let
if you've
them
got
hang
people that got a show.
themselves. Let them just give them enough rope to hang themselves. Like, why would you? Because if you're gonna stop him performing, people are gonna want to see him more. Even someone like me, I'm now fucking curious because like. Even that I've never seen him, and suddenly these people are like, "Oh, you can't watch this cunt," and I'm just like, "Well, why? Why can't I?" And then it'll make me want to look him up and watch his stuff. Like it's fucking stupid.
Bring back Roy Chubby Brown. Well, it is a typical joke from Roy Chubby Brown.
Okay.
Right? I think it's a typical joke. A woman asked her husband if he knew how she could make her bust bigger. He said, "Try rubbing toilet paper between your tits. It worked for your ass."
Okay.
You know, it's like,
It's just right.
Cheeky, rude, blue. 30 years ago, it was very groundbreaking because people
so
were
there's
like
obviously
being
going to be a
rude
very
and swearing.
particular audience for that.
Yeah.
In the same way that there are for certain bands, like they date themselves. So like you're not going to convince those people not to, like he's not making new fans in fucking 2021, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I'm having a little look through some of these, and none of them, I assumed there'd be some kind of making fun of minorities, but they seem to be just really crass jokes.
Yeah.
A woman walks past a pet shop with a sign reading, "For sale, clitoris-licking frog." She goes in, and the shopkeeper says, "Bonjour, madame."
Oh, right, okay. Because frogs...
It's just...
Because French...
Yeah.
It's a word
He's
for French
just a French person.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Little girl gets lost in Tesco's. Security guard asks her, "What's your mum like?" The girl replies, "Big cocks and vodka."
Okay.
So it's those kind of jokes.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're no platforming him because he swears?
Like, yeah, I mean...
Okay, fair enough. Maybe there's like incredibly worse stuff. But I defended him saying if he wanted to make fun of minorities. It's like,
that's so ridiculously tame compared to I don't know, someone like Anthony Jeselnik.
Yeah, for sure.
But Anthony Jeselnik is like openly kind of like left wing and like very liberal. Like I know all the interviews around his last show was always about like it was all kind of all of his jokes were meant to be kind of like ironic or whatever with I've lost my thread, but like it's you can say whatever you want as long as you're the right kind of person, basically.
Yeah. Which I think is probably true, but it's just it doesn't come into account until the very extreme. Like I say, if you were going around promoting lynching, then I could understand the country or society saying, "No, we don't want that kind of stuff here."
Yeah.
But like in terms of language and swearing, and risque blue comedy, or even racist comedy, it's almost weird that because obviously racist comedy is by definition bad comedy, but by definition it should also die out on its own.
Yeah.
If your society is not racist or trying not to be racist, or is like, we're working on it, then like that kind of stuff will die out rather than being like, don't because that's where it becomes,
That's just old school
forbid
working
it.
man's club shit. Like I mean his comedy by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I'm literally looking through like, I don't know, 20 of jokes that's been pulled on a website, and they're all just rude, and they're not written rude in like a in a crass way. That's all.
Yeah.
But people get upset. But yeah, maybe it was Bernard Manning I was thinking of. Lots of like old generation 70s.
Yeah, I know Bernard Manning was meant to have a lot of like kind of racist stuff. Again, I'm saying meant to because I don't know. I haven't.
Oh, I watched a weird documentary about him a while ago. A documentary he made that he wanted released after he was dead.
Right.
That he was like dying at the same time, so he'd kind of turn up and be a ghost and find it funny. But like it was quite aggressive. But then it also went into like the community support he had and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, from memory, I seem to remember them being quite aggressive against minorities. But like again, it's not necessarily a deplatforming thing. That's a challenge them thing.
Yeah.
Talk to them about it and then expose them for who they are, rather than be like, don't platform. So yeah, deplatforming is a weird. I can see where it could be done in exception, like in very rare cases,
Mm.
like to get there is like we're nowhere near there. It's mental.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
But,
So you're all right watching some hearing about Roy Chubby Brown doing some work.
It's
Worked
weird. Well, that's I don't want to go back and go over it again, but they're making like he was like part of a dying breed or whatever. Like he's got his fans, his fan base isn't growing. These fucking idiots are making him relevant again.
Man, well, I don't know. Could be.
Well, he wasn't in the news before.
Yeah. Well, it's like Jim Davidson, I think, still touring ever since he got famously somethinged for making fun of a wheelchair user in an audience. Something happened to him. I can't remember. Maybe his tour was cancelled or he lost
I think
his
he was
job.
on Big Brother or something. He said some stupid shit, which they then aired because it's Big Brother.
But he lost some job opportunities, I think. But then he was still touring.
Yeah.
And it's like not really mentioned. So yeah, I guess it put shine the light on him. But there's people saying that, oh, do you know this guy swears? I hate swearing. It's bad.
All right.
If I can put it in the news.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so little to be interested about. I reckon people are just trying to clutch at stuff.
Yeah. I just watched South Park's last special. I can't remember what it was. Was it the vaccination special? Because they did the pandemic special,
maybe.
And then they did a vaccination special, which I didn't know anything about, and something cropped up on social media. And it was like, "Fuck, this has been out for a few months." Fucking hilarious! They're still just making some of the best satire that's around today, and they've been doing it for fucking I don't know, like God knows how long now. What are they on like season 24, 25? Something ridiculous. Yeah.
I remember being in the Cub Scouts when South Park was on, so that was like I don't know. 12.
Yeah, I think I was in year 5 when it started, maybe year 6. Thereabouts. So, yeah, a long time.
Yeah, still good.
Yeah.
But yeah, comedy. It's got some news bits this week. I can't remember if I've got a thing. Oh yeah.
Just going to switch the fan off.
Carry on. Your fan up. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Police Scotland has been fined £100,000 after admitting failings that contributed to the death of a young mother who lay undiscovered with her dead partner with 3 children, with 3 days, following a crash on the M9. So like a couple got in a car crash, veered off a road, and the police took 3 days to find them, even though it was reported as it was going off the road. So this woman was in a car crash where her partner died. She was alive.
Right.
And was just in a car with corpses for 3 days.
Oh, God.
Horrific. Lamara Bell, 25, and John Ewell, 28, died after their car left the motorway near, I guess that's true, near Stirling on July 5th, 2015. Despite a call being made to police from a witness reporting the vehicle, a blunder at the call handling centre meant to take 3 days for them to respond. And when officers finally arrived, Mr. Ewell was dead, while Ms. Bell died 4 days later.
3 days?
3 days to respond.
Has anyone seen that sticky note that I left on the...
Yeah. I think I'm forgetting something. Something about a car crash.
Do we need more milk? Is it milk?
Have you seen that film Crash? I haven't seen it in a while. I think that's what I'm thinking about. But that's so bad. What is it not? Well, obviously it's bad not to respond. But I'm thinking about the fucking woman in the car next to her dead husband.
Yeah, for 3 days. Like you never forget that. It's bad enough. Grief is bad enough in the first place, without going through that.
Yeah, and obviously, I imagine food was an issue. She probably starved a lot, probably dehydrated, found after 3 days.
Okay,
but she died 4 days after she was found.
Oh, right.
So it's not like a happy story.
So she didn't have to deal with it for too long then. But either way, that's not good. Okay.
Yeah.
Weird. Odd tangent, but
oh yeah,
would you rather be hanging out with the corpse of your loved one for 3 days, or just get it over with, but in a horrific way, like seeing them get eaten by a crocodile or something?
Seeing them get eaten by a crocodile.
Yeah. So either way, you're witnessing or being present to their death, but you can either be in the accident with them. And then hang out with their corpse for a few days while you're waiting to be rescued, or or you can watch them get eaten by an alligator. And it
Depends on the aggression.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, like if I saw a loved one fall from a cliff. Have you seen Midsummer? It's like a horror film, most recent. Not like a horror film. It's just a remake of the Wicker Man, I think, basically.
No, not seen it.
But, all right, we'll have another image. I don't know. Well, let's take a random example. Let's say I watched my loved one fall from a cliff.
Okay.
I wouldn't then want to, like, hang out with her.
Yeah, no.
And I think, like, that image would almost be more horrific than an alligator.
Okay.
But if it was a car crash where, like, you both black out and wake up and you hang out with the corpse, I'd probably prefer to hang out with the corpse whilst coming out of a blackout kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you probably get quite introspective for a while. Whereas if you're watching someone get destroyed by an alligator, I don't think you'd be as introspective.
Yeah. No, probably
like,
not.
Nature is a strange thing. Be like, ah! Doesn't the Lord work in mysterious ways?
It's it's kind of like the that story that you covered about the expected parents hanging out with their kind of dead child after they've had like a miscarriage or something like that. Like it's you can get some kind of closure from that. Yeah. From just having time and you can whip out a travel game if you're in the car, play some Uno.
For references, that was like, it's, a couple had a stillborn or something, and it's a genuine approved NHS procedure to give the parents the corpse of the baby in a freezer box and let them like hang around with it for a week to like have all the new parent rituals. And we just thought it's insane, but it's true. It's weird. And yeah, you could probably play Scrabble or Tetris. Tetris with dead baby.
Ludo.
In other news, in other news, that's been a while since I've looked at these notes. Facebook users who watched a newspaper video featuring black men were asked if they wanted to keep seeing videos about primates.
That's fine, but Roy Chubby Brown's banned.
So ridiculous. So again, because I don't think I've experienced this, but I think it's like you see at the end of the video it asked if you enjoyed the current video's content, would you like to see more? But it just recognized that black men are apparently primates, Facebook said, by an artificial intelligence recommendation system. Facebook told the BBC it was clearly an unacceptable error, disabled the system, and launched an investigation.
Well, it's just AI being AI. Like, you can't.
Well, the thing, again, maybe I'm being stupid, but how the fuck do black people look like primates?
What? But the other thing is like, why is the AI analysing the video? Like, why isn't it just using tags like everything else does?
Well, it's that transitional period where they're slowly trying to, instead of having tags, it will figure out new and impressive tags to further cater your experience. I can understand that as, programming stuff. But like, it's I can't understand what the deal is. Like, as a logical puzzle, how does an AI look at anybody and mistake them for a fucking animal?
Yeah.
This woman looks like a fish. No, she doesn't. What are you inputting? What's the deal?
No, it doesn't.
No, these completely covered in fur, naked animals? No. Guy's wearing a suit.
It doesn't exactly marry up.
No, just don't understand it. But like, but it happened. In 2015, Google's photo app labelled pictures of black people as gorillas. That was trying to figure stuff out. The company said it was appalled and sorry. So it's fixed. It's fixed. Google's fix to that problem was just to remove the term gorilla from their artificial intelligence system.
Right, so now it can't find videos of gorillas. Yeah.
In May, Twitter admitted racial biases in the way its saliency algorithm cropped previews of images.
Our
So I think
solution
that
is
was
to give it a great ape-shaped lobotomy.
Yeah, just like Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the term. It's like he cut his brain out. Something. Studies have also shown biases in the algorithms powering some facial recognition systems. I remember this, like there was some like Instagram or Snapchat filters that would crop people out, or like would focus on the wrong thing.
Right.
And it is a process, right? This is relatively new technology that's going through. But it's just, and it's like, well, they're probably just focusing on white people, I guess. And they need to improve it. But it's just like, how could things go so wrong? Like, that's pretty much the worst thing that could ever happen. like there's, in terms of like trying to further technology in Facebook, where like friends and family and photos and videos are encouraged. And then just to bring out like 1920s racist terms. What are you doing? But yeah, technology's getting there. This from Stoke. Thought this was fun. Angry Callum Maddox threatened to kill a woman and petrol bomb her house during a street disturbance. It's a disturbance outside. Some kid's going to petrol bomb my house.
It's quite disturbing.
The 21-year-old was jumping on a BMW when he told the woman, "I'm going to stab you, kill you, and petrol bomb the house," after residents decided to confront him. Stop it! Stop doing that!
Jumping up and down on the car.
On a BMW.
No, if anything, that's quite gorilla-like.
Yeah, Facebook, get on it. This happened just 17 days after he was jumping on a Honda car on nearby Brookwood Drive.
I like jumping on cars.
He loves jumping on cars. This is his whole thing. He's 21.
My whole life is a safari.
He's learning himself. He's figuring out his personality. He's been given a community order and over £1,000 court bill. The dispute was triggered by a previous argument with the woman. Prosecutor Karen Wright said it was reported to the police that this defendant was jumping on the bonnet of a car, causing damage to wing mirrors. An area search was undertaken and the defendant was located and arrested. The court heard Maddox was back standing on a car bonnet on June 29th following an argument with his mum. Third time. James Hulse, mitigating, said there'd been no further incidents and added the courts will not see Maddox again if he continues on the path he's on. We've moved him, we've had a chat with him. He's not going to jump on any more cars. Now, we've put him on the right path, the path being not on a car, on the actual path. And then hopefully he'll be a law-abiding citizen from now on.
Oh yeah, that's how it works.
I don't know why, but jumping on a car is pretty funny, pretty aggressive, pretty weird. But yeah, it feels like petrol bombing the house, weird threat. Why use petrol? Diesel's got a lower burning or a higher burning point, isn't it? He's right to use petrol.
Yeah. Petrol's more explosive.
Oh yeah, this was news from The Independent, and I didn't understand it.
All right, so it's not news.
Is The Independent not news? I don't know.
It's a pile of shit. Carry on.
Boo! I never got the whole newspapers thing. Like the Wall Street Journal, is that good or bad? I don't know. People are like, this is.
I don't know.
Boo.
No, to be fair, Independent.
Which one's the Princess Diana one? The Daily Mail.
Yeah, Independent used to be better, but since for a long time it's just been clickbait horseshit.
Well, who wouldn't click on this?
All right.
Let me ask you the question. It was a quiz show. The question was, what pub serves Betty's hot pot?
Don't know.
The guy was like, I don't know, Weatherspoons? What an idiot. It's Carnation Street, you cunt. It's the whole article.
News.
Was it Carnation Street? I can't remember. It was either Carnation Street or EastEnders, one of those. The Chase star Bradley Walsh was left in hysterics after a contestant gave a wrong answer. Weatherspoons? You fucking idiot! I mean, I find it weird. I mean, who watches soaps?
Who watches game shows?
Yeah.
Same people,
Well,
I think.
Well, like when I've been around people who have tellies, usually there's a game show on around normal stuff, and there's so little on television that if you're going to watch television, usually there's a game show on. So it's like I can understand people oddly watching game shows, but not watching soaps.
Yeah.
Like they're openly terrible, but like I see it's like Countdown. Like university students would watch daytime television and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe they watched Coronation Street. I don't know, but I guess it's just
I used to
the
watch
generation
Neighbours,
that grew
I
up
think,
watching
when I
it.
was in uni.
There's more murders in Neighbours, I think. Don't know.
Neighbours was always like I always found British soaps to be quite depressing. Whereas Neighbours, I don't know, things blew up. Everyone was quite attractive. It was the sun was
Things
shining.
blew up.
It seemed like a nice place to be.
Just better weather.
Yeah.
So not raining over there. But yeah, everyone is entitled to a bit of a brain fart now and again. He didn't know the answer was Carnation Street. What a fucking idiot. I didn't understand it, but fair enough.
I think he's laughing because Spoons isn't anything from television, and the question was like,
yeah, but Betty's hotpot, like that could be a pub dish somewhere.
well,
So
what
it could
did
be like
he
a
say?
Subway sandwich.
What pub? What television pub?
No, just which pub? Which pub serves Betty's hotpot?
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Could be a Subway sandwich. Could
Yeah.
be McDonald's something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be whatever. Anyway, in brighter news, the Satanic Temple has hit back hard against Texas's recent institution of draconian anti-abortion laws. So, the Satanic Temple's getting involved.
Yeah.
The whole fucking temple's in uproar about this. The Massachusetts-based religious group has filed a letter with US Food and Drug Administration to make the case that abortion is the faith-based right of its members. Even the Satanists are pro-abortion. But then I guess that makes sense, if you think about it.
No, they're
I don't know.
anti-abortion. Because what
No,
they're
the Satanists are pro-abortion. They're saying it's the right
oh yeah,
of
no,
its
they're
members to
pro-abortion.
have
Yeah,
an abortion.
yeah, sorry, yeah. But yeah, because they, well, yeah.
They want to send more people to the devil. I don't know, whatever these
The thing is,
things are.
that's the thing. It's like I understand, but it's not exactly helping their cause.
The
Because
Satanic temples.
no, I mean, as in, like maybe they're all kind of like tongue in cheek about it and everything like that. But if the whole argument against abortion is that you're killing babies, and your argument as a pro-abortion is no, we're not, like because life begins at whatever.
Satanism.
Yeah, and the Satanists come in and say, like, we'll help. Our faith says we're allowed to kill babies. Like, they're
Yeah.
not really helping.
I like that they're getting involved, though.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Sorry,
but it's all being
Gareth Johnson from the Satanic Temple. We'd just like to say
yeah.
we
like,
disagree.
It's just everyone's been rallying behind them, been like, "Oh, this Satanist is like really, really funny, and like they're really helping our cause." It's like, I mean, they're kind of not though. I know they're just kind of like making a big joke and everything, but it's like they're saying
Is
it's
it a big
okay.
joke?
They're saying we're killing babies, which
Brilliant.
is your whole argument is that you're not, right?
Well, they're against the they're saying abortion is a faith-based right. I don't know whether the Satanic Temple is completely coming out and officially stating in a media post that they say that we are killing babies
And it's our right to. Well,
yeah,
I
they might just be
assumed,
saying
but maybe
abortion,
that's
though.
my assumption because I would have
The
assumed
Satanic Temple is
the
a
Church
calm-
of Satanism likes to do evil shit or whatever. So it's our right.
It's just so. I just love the idea of the Satanic Temple being like more involved in society,
Yeah.
like an ad campaign, like getting posters put up. Satanic Temple, you'll love it. Like, no, it's really good.
WWSD.
Yeah. Apparently, the law in Texas that because there's lots of weird controversy about it, but the only thing I found about it was Texas are making abortions after 6 weeks illegal.
Yeah.
So like that's quite
When
a
it's
short
like
period.
the size
to-
of a grain of rice or something ridiculous.
Yeah, that's like, well, if it's bigger than rice, you can't kill it.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know, whatever it is. But yeah, so people are upset because it may take more than 6 weeks to realise you're pregnant, get book stuff, book time off work and do it.
Yeah, I mean, I was
But
saying,
thankfully, the Satanic Temple's stepping in.
I was saying to Vix, like, I'm very much pro-choice, but like
Pro-Satanic Temple.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't envision how this argument's ever going to end.
Well, it's ended in the UK.
No, but
in England.
it
You know
hasn't,
what I mean?
because there's still people who are anti-abortion in the UK. It's not the
Oh,
argument
yeah.
hasn't ended. It's just that the law is in the favour of abortion. That's all.
But I'd say the argument's ended, but the conversation carries on. You know what I mean? It's like the argument was won by should it be illegal or not. That argument's done. But whether or not you should or should not is like a continuing debate /
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Like it's just I agree with you that there'll always be people who are pro-life and pro-abortion, but the weirdness of being like, no, you'll go to prison if you do it is like, whoa. I mean, that's ridiculous. A bit crazy. I think obviously there are elements of the UK that I think are still quite hot about it, but
Yeah.
in England, as far as I know, it's like, hey, it's legal, and it's your choice.
Well, it's like, and it's so there's just mindsets that I could never get behind that just assure me that no one could that people who have those mindsets could ever be pro-choice. Like Ben Shapiro, for example. Like I like him. I listen to like a lot of his stuff, shitloads of his stuff that I disagree with, because that's how it is. But I like to keep an open mind and see what everyone's thinking. And he likens abortion or abortion. Pro-abortion laws and pro-choice laws to a modern day mass genocide, and I'm just like I don't think I could ever have that mentality. I don't think I could ever have that mentality. But he maintains that like in 100 years they're going to look back on this period of time as one of the most heinous eras that's ever existed in humanity, and I'm just like I don't think that's true.
Well, there's a really weird thing about, I think, people believing their opinions to be so consequential or so important. Like, the argument that I believe is that if we don't do this, then pretty much the world's going to look back on us and think it was an apocalypse. You're like, chill out, mate.
Yeah.
Just have a drink. Like, I know you're trying to think about
not
whether
on
or not
Saturday,
you have the salmon or
not
not.
on the Shabbat and whatever.
Yeah. But like, I'm like, I got a letter in the post today that I've got to I don't know how often people vote, but like whenever it happens, I get a letter that says you need to fill out a form saying who in this house can vote. I was thinking about voting, right? And all it is just some random person going, I think we should do this.
Yeah.
And then everyone going, shut the fuck up. And then moving on. That's the whole system. It's just I think we should. Everybody thinks something. Just shut the fuck up and let's have some Weetabix.
Yeah.
All right, just move on. Let's go do stuff. So yeah, it's always funny when people think their opinions are like really, really impactful. If we don't stop this now, it's like if we don't stop Roy Chubby Brown now.
Yeah.
Then who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
It's like everything's going to be normal. You're not as important as you think.
Yeah.
Go to bed. Have a sleep. Just fucking do your chores and fucking live your life.
Chill out, have a Horlicks, put Netflix on.
Yeah. Speaking of religion, this was, like, so you got the Satanic Temple being quite pro-choice. Be like, Satanic Temple's a bit on the even keel. In other news, a Wisconsin teen has been sentenced to 20 years in prison for the 2018 death of his 7-year-old relative who was beaten and tortured for not knowing Bible verses.
Oh. How
You don't
old?
know your Bible verse? 7. You don't know your Bible verses yet. 7-year-old idiot. Gonna torture you to death. Jesus.
Fucking hell.
They love Jesus as well. Damien Hausschultz, now 17, pleaded guilty in June to 1 count of first degree, and I haven't heard this term before, reckless homicide. So not like measured homicide, or planned, or motivated, reckless. It was doing all the homicide. Records show charges of child abuse and substantial battery were dismissed. He didn't abuse the child. It wasn't substantial battery, he just, homicided the kid. In addition to serving time behind bars, he'll also be supervised for 10 years. He's been told, the judge said, my goal is to ensure that you're incarcerated for just long enough to mature and develop, work on your education, work on a treatment, work on controlling that angry side. Work on controlling that angry side. Manitowoc County Circuit Court Judge Geraldine Dietz said, and she sentenced him as an adult. Apparently, his father told him to punish the child. Ethan Horscholtz, Damon Horscholtz's parents, were the court-appointed guardians for Ethan, and the father punished the child because he did not know 13 Bible verses. Prosecutor said Ethan was forced to carry a log around a path for 2 hours a day for 1 week while the homicider watched. Ethan struggled to carry his log, and so he was hit, kicked, struck, and poked around 100 times. Approximately 100. How many times did you hit, kick, struck, and poke this kid? About 100.
Yeah, I kept a tally. Let me have a look.
Yeah, I got kept a calculator for it. Just wanted to keep record. It goes on to say that he also stood on Ethan's body and head while he was face down in a puddle. He also buried him in 80 pounds of snow and left him for 20 to 30 minutes without a coat or boots. I don't think the boots would have made that much of a difference.
No.
I mean, it would have made a difference.
It's like, apparently you lose a lot of heat through your feet.
Mostly, when you're buried in snow.
Well, it's mostly through your feet, your hands, and your face, and maybe the top of your head. And apparently,
I thought it was always your head.
Huh?
I thought it was always your head. Never thought about feet.
Yeah, so apparently it's any area of the body that didn't used to be covered by fur. So, like, I guess when we were our
like the
pre-evolved
base of feet
states, yeah. So would have been hands, feet, face, yeah.
I guess so, maybe. I thought it was just because heat rose, and just like all the heat just went up through your body and out your head.
Well,
that's why you get cold feet. But then that makes quite sense. Yeah, could be.
It's why people like regulate their temperature at night by putting one foot out the bed. Like, it does actually work.
They don't just like get out the covers. Well, they do, just with their foot. Fair enough. Just never done that.
No?
No, I'm an all or nothing guy.
Either way, I'm going to die. I'm either going to die with a duvet or die without it.
Yeah. I thrash in my sleep violently. So, like, it's not really a choice. It's just...
It's why I never got along with sleeping bags, because you can't shove a leg out.
All right. Can unzip the sleeping bag?
Nah.
No. Don't want to. Want to feel like a moth. I'm gonna be a moth.
I like this whole kind of sealed inness for a bit, but then if it gets too hot,
You got sleeping bags with arms and legs now.
Yeah.
I'd kill those people.
Yeah, I don't like that. I want to be separate inside it, like a cocoon.
Like a cocoon that maybe you could put your leg out of.
Yeah. If I could have like a smaller zip on the front, just big enough for my leg.
Yeah.
Or just
I've never slept in a hammock. I always thought a hammock's a good compromise.
Yeah, well, a lot of people camp in hammocks apparently. Like if they go like wild camping and stuff, they just string them up and then take a sleeping bag. That's always seemed pretty good.
It's meant to be warmer. Yeah. Obviously the frozen ground.
Oh yeah, I suppose so.
That's the thing. That's what fucked me on a winter camp once. But yeah, because you get in the hammocks instead. You can put your leg out of a hammock.
Yeah.
But then you won't be a moth. But that's me this week.
All right.
So yeah, this kid tortured. Yeah, it seems like the religious extreme. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Can we remember any satanic extremists?
No. Apart from Satan, no.
It's a bit extreme. Like
Cerberus.
There's probably a lot less Satanists than. Well, obviously there must be than religious.
Well, it's a joke religion, isn't it? It's not even a big thing.
Oh, but it's. I don't know.
I mean, there'll be some people that take it seriously, but I thought it was like it was kind of reactionary to all like mega Christian people.
But that's all Christianity was, wasn't it? It was reactionary to Judaism.
I've no idea.
Yeah, they like. I think from the little I learned from a religious teacher that I dated a little was that the Old Testament was waiting for the prophecy of the chosen one to come.
Right.
And then this guy, Jesus, came, and loads of people said he's the chosen one, and the Old Testament said no.
Oh, right, okay.
So the New Testament went and followed that chosen one.
we're
and
going to go with... We've been here for ages. We're just going to go with this guy.
He's here.
Yeah.
He's not wearing a suit, but I think he's probably fine.
He says he's the chosen one.
Yeah, I think that's the basis of what happened. And so, Christianity kind of split off and followed that guy with his star and his wise men.
We'll form a New Testament.
Yeah, we'll call it something really original. And then basically the Satanic Temple did probably something quite similar, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't see them in the news as much. I'd like to see more of the Satanic Temple involved in the news.
Yeah.
Almost, and it sounds weird, I want the Taliban to be involved in more negotiations. The fact that they're trying to be recognised as like a national thing. You see that they've installed curtains in universities now in Afghanistan?
Oh, that's good.
That's good, so they can segregate the men and the women with a curtain. Don't worry, it's a magic curtain. Such a odd job kind of reaction. Like, oh, we need to segregate the university. What we got? Bricks? Nah, curtain. Could do a curtain.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Don't look, and you can't see, and they're not there.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Seems weird. But yeah, Satanic Temple, I'm all for you. Get more involved.
Fair enough.
Next episode, the world's on fire. Everything's ended. It's all there. But that's me this week.
All right, just a few from me. A man from Crowley, Louisiana has been arrested after stealing an ambulance from one hospital to drive himself to another hospital with faster service.
I'm not happy with the service here. Love your ambulances. Hate your service. Yeah. I'll go somewhere else.
The man stated that he was involved in a motor vehicle accident where he sustained an injury which caused pain in his back and on his side. He was transported to the by the Acadian Ambulance Service to Lafayette General Hospital, where he was placed in lobby in pain. After waiting to be seen, he decided to go to a different hospital for a quicker service and hopped into a nearby ambulance. Took the ambulance and proceeded to a hospital in Lafayette, where he was not immediately seen there either. So he took the ambulance to another hospital, to his primary care physician in Crowley. On his way, stated that police started to chase him. So he went to another hospital, and then that was too slow as well. So he just drove to his local doctors.
Look, can you help with this gunshot wound or broken? This whiplash, please?
After his arrest, he was transported to Acadia General Hospital again in Crowley. Just took him back.
Makes sense.
Where doctors confirmed that he had a rib fracture. He was treated and released for incarceration.
And there's nothing you can do for a rib fracture. So
no,
it's
fuck all.
Just go home.
There's
go
nothing.
Home, chill out.
No cast,
in
no nothing.
Prison.
Just stay very still. Sorry, it's going to be sore for a bit, but fucking deal with it. Yeah. You can go to prison.
Enjoy your prison.
Yeah.
The service there is fucking magnificent.
It's very quick.
But you see what I mean about, like, your opinion's not that important. You're not as big a cog in the world as you think.
Yeah.
Like, it's a favour these doctors are doing for you. They don't have to do it.
No.
They don't work for you. They work for the society. It doesn't mean you.
No.
It's like that thing of, like, there's so many people who say, like, you're a policeman. I pay your wages, so I'm your boss. You're like, no. One, if you do pay them, they're paid to protect the people, not you twat. Like, they may be involved in. That means they can't arrest anybody. Is that what that means? Because they work for everybody. They can't arrest anybody. Everyone's doing the right thing.
That's how police work. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking stupid. This hospital's not treating my broken ribs. I'm going to go for a drive somewhere else.
Yeah, with your car.
I'm taking this as a gift.
Yeah.
A gift.
My money paid for this fuel. No.
You know, you're killing people, like, by stealing an ambulance.
Yeah.
That ambulance could be used to save people. No.
Yeah.
Did no one else get the video shown to them as a kid that was like, don't prank call the fire department? Yeah. Because while they're answering a prank call, other people are burning their flesh. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. So I remember that video when I was a kid.
But to be fair, he took himself to 2 different hospitals. So, like, he saved some time. Like, that's an efficient trip, isn't it?
Well,
2 birds, 1 stone.
You got a couple of second opinions. And the third opinion was go to jail. You'll go to prison.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it makes sense that they took him back to the original hospital because that's where the ambulance was from.
Yeah, well, we got to take this back
sense.
anyway. And
Might as
you're a
well.
knob, so you can just wait. Only now we've got Officer Friendly to wait with you.
Officer Friendly, Pope Innocent, and Bishop Not Bothered.
Yeah.
Bishop Blind Eye.
In other news, this is only a very short one. Just found it funny. Lil Uzi. Do you know Lil Uzi?
It rings a bell. Rapper, maybe?
Yeah, he is a rapper. Who'd have thought with a name like Little Uzi? A rap artist who's had a $24 million pink diamond surgically implanted into his forehead stated this week that while crowd surfing in a concert, he had a $24 million pink diamond ripped out of his forehead.
Sorry to report. It's a load of people in the crowd with a load of like crowbars and pliers. Be like, he's going to crowd surf any minute.
So fucking dumb.
Yeah.
It said oh, you spent 3 years paying for it. And it's like, and they make it such public record. Like, it cost $24 million and it's in my face. And here's my face.
I trust you all.
So dumb.
My face is stealable. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, we had that conversation, I think last week. Was it last week? We were talking about the phones, and I was on about, like, the Face ID things. Like, I don't want people, like... I was comfortable with it when it was my thumb, because you're just cutting off my thumb. But, like, and you were like, well, you just have to show it your face. Like, this guy's literally asking to get his face cut off.
Yeah, I mean, his phone might not even recognise him anymore now that it's less pink.
Yeah, I can't unlock my phone anymore.
Oh, it's going to cost me $24 million to unlock my phone again.
Fucking technology.
Yeah. Well, obviously, there's a couple of extremes there, right? I don't understand jewellery or gems anyway, but then putting them in your face seems like another extreme.
Yeah.
And then telling everybody, I guess if it's in your face, you have to tell people something.
Yeah.
But
And plus, if you spent the time to have it implanted into your forehead, like, people are going to assume it's worth something, even if you tell them it's not. Because why would you have something worthless, like, implanted into your forehead?
You're just begging to get your head crowbarred.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Broken into like a safe. like an old car door.
Anyway, apparently he's got it back and he's doing fine.
He's got it back. Found it.
Has anyone seen a $24 million pink diamond?
I want to see part of my head.
Yeah, it's this shape. Anyway,
got it back.
in other news, a judge in Bullock County, Kentucky, has denied a couple's divorce and instead issued court-mandated counselling, stating, "I think you guys can work it out."
That's horrible. Like being locked in a room. It's like you're having an argument. Jeez.
Just divorce denied. I'm a hero.
Yes, I'd like to divorce because we want to give our children a healthier, less argumentative environment. Denied.
No.
Nah, you work it out. You work it out. He's like properly reflecting because he's desperately trying to avoid his own divorce.
Yeah.
Divorces take a lot of work. You got to figure it out.
Yeah.
But then I guess there's got to be. I mean, you don't. When you file for divorce, it is like a court situation, isn't it? So is there like a debate? Is there like a check? It's not just to divide stuff, is it? I don't know.
It's some of it's to divide stuff unless you've already got like a prenup or something that covers all that. But it's also, in this case, it was like they've got kids, so it's how to deal with that. It's to do with anything that you're a part of together. So if you've got like if you share a dog.
So yeah, but so it's dividing stuff up. But I'd imagine there would be a point where it's like, are you sure you're like a medical thing? But are you sure you want to do this? What are your reasons for wanting to do this? But if we just want to divorce, that's the only reason. Can somebody just say no?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I mean, there was an argument made that if we made divorce laws much stricter and made it more difficult, then less people would enter into marriages haphazardly.
Nah, I doubt that. Most people will just get married if they have kids. There's an accidental pregnancy, I reckon there's a high likelihood they'll be pressured into marriage by themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, let's put it this way: the divorce laws, the divorce problems for men have been so bad for so long, yet so many men have still gotten married.
Yeah.
I don't think if you make it worse, it's gonna prevent it.
And they could just get a prenup that sorts that out, and they don't.
Yeah. So I think it's more of an emotional, hormonal decision to make. Yeah. So maybe I don't think it's really thought about in the future, but there has to be grounds for a divorce. I've heard that a lot. There has to be a reason you're divorcing. You can't just divorce for the fuck of it. But you can get something annulled within a certain period if you haven't fucked.
Yeah, something like that, which seems like a weird draconian law because it's like, well, but we have fucked, just not while we were married.
Oh, well, then that doesn't count. Annulled.
I don't understand this law.
No, but it's just it's like a law from probably 1800 or something. Yeah. It's still going on. So yeah, maybe if there weren't grounds for a proper divorce, because society wants to encourage divorce, encourage marriage, so they probably want to make people second guess it. It's better for society if more people are married, so they want to promote that and try and keep those people together.
More stable, I guess. Yeah.
More stable. It's better financially for the country. It's better for childbirth rates. All that stuff. All better for child worker education from child age and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I can understand there being discouraging divorce, but if you just want to divorce, are you free to do so? You must be.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
You would assume so. It's it's a free country, so you'd assume so. You have to accept the consequences of it if you haven't signed any fucking paperwork or anything, but you should always just be allowed to.
Well, it's because it involves so many other things. It's less involved than most, I guess, like a divorce. But I always found it interesting when people talk about medical procedures and voluntary medical procedures being their choice. And you go it's not your choice to have a medical procedure done because other people have to do it on you. Yeah. So maybe they don't want to. Maybe they feel it would be more damaging. Let's say you wanted to, what's the old silly ones, get your tongue cut in half to be more serpent-like. Yeah. There's some voluntary surgery. Just because you want to have it done and you accept and you consent to having it done doesn't mean it gets done. Yeah. Maybe the doctors want to be have you sinned? So have you thought this through? Have you done this? Have you done that? It's not just can you cut off my leg, please? I don't want it anymore. Yeah. I don't want to. Well, but it's my choice. Nah, no, not really. You can cut it off yourself if you want, but we recommend against it. We'll put you in prison if you do.
Well, it's just weird. It's weird. It's weird to go to a court for a divorce and have everything kind of decided, and then for them to just kind of deny it. It's like going to, I don't know, let's say you went to a car dealership and we're just oh, we can't decide between this car and this car, and they're just I think you need a blimp. Sold. It's it's that's not why we're here.
Just be in love again.
Yeah.
Judged.
Well, apparently the judge made the call because the two were just so cordial when they were talking to each other and about each other and everything. They were too mature. So the judge was just yeah, you're fine.
They've accepted it and they've moved on.
Yeah.
So what he's going to do, he's going to move them back to all the chaos.
The order has also mandated that neither party, husband nor wife, shall introduce the child to any dating interest until the action is finalised, which is the counselling, until they've completed the course of counselling, or speak to the child about any such person or relationship, or permit any third party to do so. So they're not allowed to move on with their lives or have the child move on in any way. Both parties' lawyers stated that they believed the judge mistook their client's communication and maturity in the courtroom for love that is no longer there. But the lawyers were just what? No, they're like, apparently it's all just a completely new thing to them, and this judge is just a fucking idiot. I think you guys will be fine.
Pretty funny though. If I was a judge, if I was a judge for a week, that's the kind of sentences that I would do.
Yeah, you can't do that. Yes, I can.
What's that old TV show with that guy who went back and forth in time in different people's bodies?
Quantum
and he had
Leap.
some kind of robot guy. Huh?
Quantum Leap.
No, like the other one, the original one. He was in Scott Bakula.
I have no idea.
Scott Bakula.
Not like Buck Rogers.
TV show.
No.
Is it Scott Bakula? It wasn't Quantum Leap. No, it was. What's the other Q? There's another. It was Quantum Leap. There was another Q that I was mistaken.
You mean like
for.
Sliders?
Sliders is what I was. I thought Quantum Leap was Sliders.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
No. Yeah, Quantum Leap, where like he jumps in between bodies and he has to figure out why he's them for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the kind of judge ruling that he'd give.
Yeah.
Then he'd get transported to another dimension and wouldn't have to deal with the consequences. Yeah. Just condemned to a loveless marriage. Thanks. The system works. Fair enough.
And finally, from me, we've already. I feel like there's going to be a lot of kind of incoming Taliban news, so here's another.
Oh, yeah.
The Taliban has banned all protests, slogans, and demonstrations that do not have approval of the Taliban. So
Slogans.
Slogans.
Before you go on your protest, come in for a pitch meeting about your protest sign that says you don't want us to behead anyone anymore.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes. Bring your own machete.
Yeah. We saw your slogan, like down with, I don't know, whatever the head of Taliban is, and we changed it to praise be to Allah.
Yeah.
So there's your sign.
Isn't this great?
Shut up and go and protest.
Go and protest with support.
Yeah.
Instead.
That is Taliban approved. Stamp it. There you go.
It's just such a weird situation that it's just funny because it's the bad guys now being the good guys, but only on paper, really. Like, it's still weird and distrustful. But I guess this happened with loads of things, right? I guess, like, when the World War II ended, like, I think... I can't remember off the top of my head what happened to Germany. I know it was cut in half and, like, shared with Britain and Russia or whatever. But, like, you know, Japan was still Japan. So, like, there must be a weird sense of, like, you've been at war with these bad people, you've had propaganda about these bad people for a long time, and now suddenly they're, you know, doing marketing deals for their own protests.
Well, the whole thing is just fucking nuts, right? So the degree signals that the new all-male interim government is set to be repressive, despite pledging to be inclusive. It was written by, I'm going to get all the names wrong, but Sirajuddin Haqqani, the head of the new Interior Ministry, who is wanted by the FBI for terrorism offences. It's ludicrous. It's just people playing pretend. Yeah, we're a government.
Well, what's the FBI's like, top 5 of our FBI most wanted list. Well, the 5th one, he's the HR administrator. Like, we know where he's there. He's coming in for a meeting about, personnel. Do we arrest him? I mean, who's going to run HR? I mean...
The announcement came as Amadullah Wasiq, deputy of the Taliban's Cultural Commission...
Yeah.
told the Australian broadcaster SBS that women would not be allowed to play sports under the new government. It's just... It's just fucking stupid. It's
stop running.
Yeah. And then I think I read somewhere that Boris Johnson came out earlier in the week and was just like, "Oh, they've changed." They haven't changed.
Well, it's like, I get that this is what's meant to happen. Is like, well, it's peace now. I think that was declared. I don't know. America left. That's all I know.
Bullshit.
I don't know whether it was like officially.
It's officially a terrorist state.
But well, I guess it was never a war, was it? Well, they said it was like a conflict or an instigation or something like that.
I don't know. I don't know. The whole thing is just a mess.
But it's just, it's just our interpretation obviously is like, it's like, oh, deputy in charge of culture. And it's just a guy
I'm the head of the Taliban's cultural commission. I was the one hanging that guy from the helicopter.
I'm in charge of parks.
Very cultural.
Yeah. But what's a diplomat to do? I guess you'd have to assume that that's his job, is to try and bridge people's communications. Like, it's a bit weird to do that with a previously known terrorist organisation. I wouldn't
want to be a diplomat for the Taliban. You'd just be taking shit all the time. Just like, look, I can't take this back to my bosses. It's too reasonable.
But a silly, like, not educated argument I have with my brother quite a lot is that, because this happened previously with the IRA, right? The IRA, I don't know the extent of what they did, but they were a terrorist organisation, I believe. They were car bombings and stuff like that. And they were politically associated with Sinn Féin, I think. And Theresa May gave Sinn Féin £1 billion to secure her prime ministership.
Right, okay.
So if you were to look at it in a silly way, again, I don't know any of the facts, it's just a silly argument, a silly conversation we have. Theresa May paid, the IRA £1 billion. Yeah, I don't think that's a good way to start.
Yeah, it's a lot of... I remember there was a big problem that people had with Corbyn. I don't know all the details of all this stuff because it all just gets mired in nonsense, but it's like... Something like after the Manchester bombings, he invited the IRA into the Houses of Parliament for like peace talks or something like that, and everyone was just like, the whole thing is that's ridiculous, or we shouldn't be making peace talks with people that have just blown up our people. Yeah,
but it's like my point with that is it's not irregular for this to happen.
Yeah.
So like it's just weird because it's probably the most high profile that we in our generation have kind of experienced. And it's probably like, I don't know, it's probably like much longer and stuff like that. But yeah, it's very cartoony and very like Bugs Bunny.
That's just it.
Walks into a fake room.
Who's like, I mean, all the heads of the Taliban or the leaders or whatever are just gathered in a room and be like, well, like what do you want to be? I'll be head of the cultural commission. Do we have a cultural commission? I'll be the cultural commission. All right. Well, you can be the head of Dave.
Yeah. I like slides. You could be president of slides.
Yeah. I like hanging people from helicopters. Great.
I wanted to hang from helicopters.